Hey y'all, thank you for joining us today. My name's Rob Drum. I'm a real estate broker at eXp Realty here in Birmingham, and I'm joined today by the Buckner Group, who recently made the move over to join us at eXp Realty. They've got a great story, and they've got some really exciting things that they are working on, an announcement that they just made, and some really great directions that their business is growing in. So we're just going to kind of chat today and talk a little bit about what they've got going on. So Casey, Bill, if you guys want to just kind of get us started here and tell us a little bit about your background and what got you into the real estate business.
Yeah, definitely. Thanks for having us on. I know we've connected with you off and on for the past couple of years, and finally we're able to come on board. So pretty much I'll let my dad speak for himself, but he was in the steel industry for a while doing sales and had some changes with his company. I got out of a local ministry college here in Birmingham and started a landscape business. So did that. He ended up joining me on that. And at one point we're working in 100-degree weather, making $5 a yard, and said, this is not the thing that this is not a good retirement plan for him and not something that I want to do for the next 40 years. So kind of looked around and on a whim said, hey, why don't we get into real estate? So that was a little over 5 years ago. So both got our real estate license the day before Thanksgiving, and been in a couple other different companies, but like you said, with a couple moves we're making now, I was looking at, to make a move and see what the best options out there, and had heard of eXp and, looked into some different things, and things the stars aligned with that and with you and all that. And we're happy we've been on for a couple months now. So able to make the switch over to eXp. So we're excited. What else you got?
Well, Rob, thanks for having us, for sure.
Yeah.
Casey said I worked for the same company for about 27 years and was in the construction products business, steel industry, and was kind of in between things and worked with Casey for a little while. And that was our first experience of working father and son. And we worked through some good times and some bad times, kind of figured some things out. And then, as he said, decided to go into real estate. And it's been great, really, our two personalities. And I'm not going to tell you every day is perfect. We are enough alike that we can clash like any parent and child, but I hate the child, but he's my son. And so we kind of take the things that we do the best. I mean, we're both, I hate to use the term salespeople, but we're people and enjoy relationships and that kind of thing. Casey's much more tech savvy than his dad, as you can imagine. And so that takes a little burden off me. I tend to be a little more detail oriented, and Casey, like I thought I used to be when I was young, but certainly Casey is the creative one. And both in the videos that we shoot, the marketing that we do. I mean, I have a background in marketing, but it's kind of old school marketing. And so we feel like we take the best attributes of one another, and hopefully we bring that to our clients. And so, we do really push the father-son team. We are trying to grow our team beyond that. But anyway, it's been a great ride. We almost joined eXp a year ago, and we talked with Jenny Williams a little over a year ago, and it just was, the timing wasn't right. And honestly, back when COVID really first hit, we were just looking at everything, looking at our goals, both business-wise, but also personally, where we wanted to live, where we wanted to spend our time. And we love Birmingham. This is the only city Casey's ever lived in. We also love the Gulf Coast, and so we'll talk about that in a second. But just some things came together. Really, we feel like the Lord just led us to a new pathway, and it just intersected with eXp. And we also feel like it's going to intersect with you, Rob, with some things that we can do together, and other agents within eXp. And just in the year since we looked at eXp, it's grown exponentially. The number of agents in Alabama, that's exciting. The number of agents, I think, maybe grew from 20,000 to 30,000 agents in the country during this 1 year delay that we had. And then, just as a side note, I think the stock price of eXp, which shows the growth of the company, has more than doubled since last year. So anyway, just everything lined up, and we just feel like this is the time for the Buckner Group to be a part of eXp, and we're real excited. And I guess that's my short story.
Yeah. Well, I mean, we're really excited to have you, and kind of touched on a couple things that I think are really interesting about your team and what you're doing that, I definitely want to expand on a little bit. One is kind of the father-son dynamic. How does that work on a day-to-day basis with, I know you kind of split the marketing work, but could you go a little deeper into, how y'all kind of divide the responsibilities? There's so much that we do as agents. I know people think we don't do a lot, but there's a lot of different steps that go into a transaction that it helps to be able to split it up. So if y'all could talk about that a little bit.
Yeah, definitely. So with us, we, I guess, decided kind of early on that we were going to do everything 50-50. So it worked great for us. There's clients, no matter who brings the client, no matter, how big of a purchase they're doing, it doesn't matter, we do everything 50-50, marketing budget, all that, we split. Now the busier that we get, that we're getting, a lot of times with the clients, we kind of take every other one, unless it's one of our personal, real close friends or, family referral, things like that. But, if it's a outside referral or somebody else that we got off our marketing, we kind of take, let him take one and I'll take one, kind of help split the time. But then we do things, help each other out. On the back end stuff, I do a lot of the contract stuff and all the, the e-signature stuff, uploading, things like that, paperwork wise. And then, he'll do a lot with the, so some more of the showings and stuff like that, but we normally, split that. So it's worked good. Kind of splitting everything. So there's not a, I don't know what you call it, not a ego problem, or not a, hey, these are my people, or, I brought this business in, we work together, as a team. So it works real good, and it helps keep each other accountable, from our side and all that. If we're making calls or reaching out to people that, that we have to check up with, we can keep each other accountable, make sure that we're keeping up with things. And then also from our client, from the service side of it, we like to say we're open 48 hours a day. So, everybody that we get, we're in a group text, so they have both our numbers. So a lot of times if I don't answer, they'll call, my dad. If he doesn't answer, they'll call me. We're all in group emails together, like I said, text. So we're, we feel like we always have somebody covered. If anybody has a question immediately, we can always answer it, normally pretty quickly between the two of us. So from a service standpoint, we feel like, we can help provide, the best service, even if we're doing a showing. Obviously you don't want to answer your phone if you're in the middle of showing with a client, but if there's two of us either at the showing, one can step away and make an important call that we've had to do before. So it's worked good, splitting things up from our end, and then also from the customer service end of it, making sure our clients are always real covered by the two of us. So.
One thing I'd add to this, I think Casey's going to be surprised. I'm going to quote a guy that he introduced me to, and I'm not going to pronounce his name right, Gary Vanderchuk. I say it right?
There you go.
Guy with colorful language, but, kind of a, cutting edge guy right now. And Casey and I actually went to go see him speak down in Mobile for the Senior Bowl. But, and I don't remember everything he talked about, but that he said about this, but he was talking about the dynamic of a partnership. And he was talking about egos, and he was asking this guy, I think it might have been a father-son, and he was kind of asking how he and his father about who wants the credit, who takes the credit, and I can't, Casey may remember all the dynamics, but it kind of stuck with me because Gary told him that quick whether or not his partnership was going to work. But at the same time, as we listened to that, I thought, well, this is why ours is going to work. And that is, and I view this as a positive in that I'm 56 years old, and I'm not 28, 30, 35 years old where I'm, I've got 40-year career in front of me. There's a lot I want to accomplish over the next 10 to 15 years. I mean, in this business, we can do real estate to the day we die, which is awesome to me. But I'm not going to be doing this as long as Casey is. And so my ego is checked at the door. I don't care who gets credit as long as we get the job done, as long as we take care of the client. And so there's days where I do the grunt work, and there's days that Casey does the grunt work. And it's nice knowing that you always have somebody, there to have your back. If you're not feeling good one day, you got someone that can go show a house, or you're just stuck, you're just stuck trying to how am I going to get past this problem? And so Casey and I bounce ideas off each other all the time. I mean, before we send a contract, hey, Casey, read this real quick. Do you see anything I don't see? And vice versa. And so that's worked real well from us. And so like I mentioned earlier, I tend to be a little more detail oriented in just some of the X and O's. Rob, you mentioned there's a lot more to do in this job than I ever thought. I mean, I sold my own houses, 4 or 5 houses on my own before I was a real estate agent. And people used to say, how do you do that? And I found out how many people, no matter how many times I told them how to do it, go through the steps, write their own contract, most of them just didn't have the stomach for it. And so now that I'm in real estate, I'm like, okay, well, I see why some of them didn't have the stomach for it. Is, there is a lot of, your name's attached to, some things that, and once you have a client, we just closed with a client yesterday. She'd been in the same house since she was 9 years old. When Casey? Since 1968. This was her first home purchase. She's in her 60s, about to retire. And we felt, I'm not going to say a weight or a burden, but it was awesome when we got her in the right house. And she missed out on some other houses, and now we're like, God had a plan for her, and that was the house. And so anyway, I digress a little bit, but it's so rewarding to be able to work with folks and kind of see their dreams. For her case, I mean, this is for her, literally her forever home. And so anyway, Casey and I work together. Sometimes he'll click a little bit better with somebody than I will. And it's not like the young people click better with Casey and the old folks click better with me. It's not always that way. Sometimes there's some, older folks my age and older that just click with Casey, like that. And vice versa. We've got a couple friend that we met about 2 years ago, and they're more Casey's age. And I talked to him last night, and so it's just, and Casey and Christine, matter of fact, our whole families have gotten to be friends. But anyway, so it's just a neat dynamic that changes every day, and we just kind of let it take us where it takes us. But
and we get to split
getting down to the true business part of it, Christina is going to be joining us. Is it good to say that, Casey?
Oh yeah.
Casey, Christina's going to be joining us and
Couple days. Yep.
couple days, and she's going to do a lot of behind the scenes things. You're going to see her in front of the camera some too, like I mentioned, but a lot of the detailed kind of stuff that we do, she's going to take over some of that, and so that's going to so my role is going to change a little bit more, which hopefully frees me up a little bit more to go out there and grab some more business and more relationship building and that kind of thing. So that was a long answer, but that's how you turn 20-minute Zoom into 3-minute Zoom.
No, that's good. I mean, I really wanted to hit on kind of where y'all are going. Like you've built this great family dynamic and partnership here in Birmingham, and it's really thriving. I mean, y'all are having a lot of closings, growing, and it's working really well. And you do, if we have time, I want to touch on your marketing stuff too, but I really wanted to cover the move to eXp, kind of what you saw that is something, what I've seen is that in my own business and with other people is that there's kind of one thing that makes you move to eXp, but then there's like 3 other things you find out once you get into it that are actually better. But you guys had one very big reason, an opportunity you saw that we can't tell my wife about because I might be moving soon. But yeah, if you want to get into that, like the expansion of your team into a different market.
Yeah, so it's been kind of a dream of our whole families for a while, but especially since we got into real estate, about living on the coast, living down Gulf Shores, Orange Beach area, and actually have had a couple different opportunities that ended up not panning out over the past 3 or 4 years. And pretty much it was going to be like an all in, all or nothing, like couple down at the beach, one down at Destin, where if we moved, we were leaving everything in Birmingham behind, joining a brokerage in Florida or down at the coast, and kind of just being all in on that secluded market and hope it works. If it doesn't, then we're back to ground zero. So what we saw with eXp, and it kind of hit us, out of the blue a couple months ago, was, with eXp, we have the awesome opportunity that our broker covers the whole state. He's in all the MLSs here in Alabama. So quickly, we're licensed in the whole state of Alabama, but the easiest, best way to sell is you have to be in each MLS. So there's, I don't even know how many, 20 different MLSs or something like that in Alabama. So you have to be in that individual MLS to, put the properties up for sale, to show houses, things like that. And, up here in Birmingham, a lot of the brokers up here aren't going to be, brokering down at the coast as well. So eXp provided us the awesome and unique opportunity to actually be able to be licensed fully buying, selling, and all that in Birmingham and at the coast, which was huge for us. And I think once that light bulb kind of went off that, wait, we don't have to give up anything up here in Birmingham. We've had obviously ups and downs through the years here, but we've had a nice little streak going on the past couple of months and had some things fall into place. And so we don't have to give any of that up here. We don't have to give that up, and we can actually expand down to Orange Beach and Gulf Shores and kind of open up a little office down there and start selling down there as well. And nothing changes. We don't have to join another brokerage. We don't have to, really do anything besides just getting in that local MLS. And which then goes back to there being 2 of us, works real good because, as far as anybody knows, we're going to be in both cities at once all the time. We'll be at the same, if somebody needs us in Birmingham, we're here. If somebody needs us at the beach, then we're there. And eXp provided us with that opportunity of both being at the same brokerage, the same everything. Nothing changes. When we make a sale, it all goes into the same system. And And it helps us provide an awesome opportunity because we've closed some deals up here in Birmingham that we got referrals from the beach. And then we all hear of referrals, people that want to move to the beach. And if you're up here at most brokerages, the best you can do is refer them to somebody, and that's it. Where now we have the opportunity of we can personally take care of them down at the beach. If they're buying a second home or an investment property, or if they just want to move to the beach because they're retiring and they're done with Birmingham, we can provide the unique opportunity of, hey, it's us. We're the ones selling your house up here. We're the ones helping you buy something, down at the beach. We're down there to help watch over it for you. If it's an investment property, we can get you, hooked up with rental companies to get rental income coming in, and vice versa. A lot of people that own down at the beach may have family that live in Birmingham, and we can personally take care of them in both places. And once that, like I said, once that clicked with us, at eXp, then it's a no-brainer. Not to mention all the other positives, like, he had mentioned with stocks and stuff like that it's just, you can't find anywhere else. But once that clicked that, wow, we can take care, we don't have to give up what we're doing in Birmingham. We don't have to start fresh at a brand new company down at the coast. We can literally be in two places at once, sell, and nothing changes. So did I miss anything there?
Yeah, I'd add to that. I guess about a year ago, we had, certainly before we came with eXp, we had a client down in Montgomery that was buying a house here in Birmingham, and they insisted that we list their house down in Montgomery. And we did. We were able to sell the house, partner with somebody down there. Honestly, we did a good job. We did the best job we could from about 70 minutes away. Got a call last night from a friend and client who's looking at maybe buying some property in Auburn, Opelika. I don't know much about that area. And so we're going to try to refer him to somebody. He was giving us the opportunity to actually work for him. And, I said, honestly, you need somebody working for you that knows the area. And so in this situation, we're going to be working both the areas. So as Casey said, and I won't go back through that again, but we'll be at the coast and we'll be in Birmingham, and we know both well. Certainly, we're going to become natives of the coast as well. So we really hope to, be thought of as go-to people in both locations. So we're really excited. Like I said, we were literally splitting hairs a year ago when we didn't go with eXp. Now that we're with eXp, yes, you look at the opportunity that's available, both, as Casey mentioned, stock and various different things that come with the cap and so forth. But also, we're looking at opportunities, working with you, Rob, and other people around kind of I almost call it a sphere within the real estate world, the sphere of eXp agents that we can kind of partner with. They don't have to be a member of the Buckner Group. We're looking to maybe add a few members of the Buckner Group, but they don't have to be a member of the Buckner Group. They can be the Johnson Group and we can be the Buckner Group, but we can work together and collaborate. And it actually, it's an advantage for us both. And we hope to be maybe the hands and feet for some folks down on the coast, some agents, because unless you're living down there, you're not going to really be able to service the people. Just like I said, unless I really know and live down in Auburn, Opelika, can I really give those people the very best service? Probably not. And so, that's the connection we hope to make between Birmingham and the coast, and that eXp really allows us the ability to do that in a seamless way.
And quickly, yeah, because we were down, I guess it was last week, doing a little market research, and when they actually had a table next to us, there was another agent, and obviously with some people that were buying down at the coast, and there's 10, 15 different Phoenixes, down there, Phoenix condos, and every single one, has different occupancy rates, has different monthly HOA fees, has different sales prices, has different views. And, we learned even more than we already know that, it takes you have to be there full time. It takes, you have to really know the market to know, you may pay this much, but your HOA fees per month may be double, but you may get better rental at a different one. And that's just the Phoenix series. There's 30 other condos down there. So, even different than Birmingham, where you can, quickly pull some comps and see what rentals go for in that, in that neighborhood or in that area. It's even more in depth there that you really want somebody that knows the market, knows the area really well. So if we're personally working with people, or if we get a referral from somebody, that we know what we're talking about, and know the area real well. So that's
of course the dynamic down there too is that you do have that condo beach rental, which or the condo beach part of the market, which is income opportunity for investors based on short-term rental. But you really don't have to go that far inland to find kind of the regular Birmingham type neighborhoods. They look a little different, but they're neighborhoods nonetheless, golf course communities. And then you also have regular long-term rental opportunities, or investment rental opportunities like you have in Birmingham. It's not quite the same dynamic as Birmingham, but nonetheless, there are plenty of opportunities for investors that want property that turns, weekly for weekly rentals, and property that turns yearly for annual rental income. So we're excited about getting into kind of really those three dynamics down there on the coast.
Yep.
Yeah, and there's one point that you mentioned, that this was kind of the thing that when I was looking at eXp, I looked at the stocks and I was like, yeah, that's good, like building up some equity in the company is nice. But what I didn't expect was the culture that creates, and the collaboration and the referrals, and the kind of the fact that we all own this company together.
Right.
Makes it so, if somebody calls me from a city over, like a girl reached out to me yesterday, and I talked to her for 20 minutes, trying to help her grow her business. And, that helps the company. Me, interviewing you guys, and, doing what I can to help your expansion at the beach. Like, that's helps the company. It's good for everybody.
Yeah.
Right.
I didn't expect that, but it's probably one of the coolest things about what we've got going on.
Yeah, it's great family atmosphere. Everybody, like you said, everybody wants to help each other. We have, different groups that we're all a part of, Facebook, things like that we can all bounce questions off each other. And it's, great family aspect dynamic of, we're all one big team. We're all in this together. So
Yeah.
It's been huge.
Yeah. One thing I had thought about is that it does. I mean, and we're just starting. I mean, we're just a month and a half, 2 months into eXp. So, and with all this COVID and everything, you just don't have many opportunities to get in groups. I actually met with Casey and I both did with eXp a couple of times last summer, and we were able to meet more then before we were even on eXp than we are right now necessarily. So we, I was thinking about it. It's kind of like church though. If you want to get the most out of a relationship with people at your church, you got to make the effort to be in a small group or Sunday school class or to attend. And I think it's the same way in the real estate world, and it's going to be the same with eXp. And we're just, Casey and I barely touched on it so far, but that is, we've got to make the effort. Each of us make the effort to gain relationships with other agents within eXp, so that we can collaborate and help each other. And that's one thing we're, looking forward, to with you, Rob. And in the end, there's a a guy down the coast that just joined eXp, Ricky Caruth, and he says business is unlimited. And that is, if you have that mindset that business is unlimited, then our spheres of influence that we all work on, our friends, our family, our friends, and that they barely intersect. I mean, they do. I mean, we go to the same church, Rob, but our spheres probably don't greatly overlap. And so we're not a threat to each other. We're actually an opportunity for one another. And it just seems like eXp just has just an incredible platform to that. But you got to make the effort. You got to put in the work to do, make those relationships happen. And like I said, we've had more people reach out to us so far from eXp than we've reached out to them, to be honest with you. And so that just helps us to know that we've got a long way to go, but lots of opportunity.
Yeah, that's definitely, kind of spot on exactly what I, would have thought would have happened. Really, there's one more thing I wanted to touch on because I think y'all do such an incredible job of it, the marketing that y'all do. And I think you do a lot of video and kind of content style marketing just to raise awareness for other businesses and other things that are going on. And I think from what I've seen that you've already started working on, the stuff at the beach is going to be really taking it to another level just because of the scenery and the vibes and the culture there. So if you could talk about that, just, what you do on a regular basis in terms of reaching out to connecting with other businesses and, lifting them up.
Yeah. So it's kind of we started out, a year and a half ago. Our marketing was we're going to post like once a month because we don't want to bug anybody. We're not going to get on video. And that was pretty much it. And we were good with it. But just through some research, and like he mentioned, Gary Vaynerchuk, Gary V, he's all about giving away content, giving away things for free, helping out other businesses, which in the end, we really do it for the other businesses. It's cool to get to go out and meet other people and things like that. But, we found one of our first videos on a whim. I was getting my wife's car fixed down in Chelsea. And I interviewed Bruce, I guess 280, I forgot the collision repair, I think is the name of it. And he was like one of the first businesses in Chelsea. So on a whim, I said, hey, Bruce, let's do a quick video, and let's show people, make sure people in Chelsea know that you're here. And we didn't get anything from it. I still paid like $2,000 to fix your car. So it's not like we didn't get anything from it, kind of did it on a whim. And it wasn't the most interesting video in the world. But we had like 15 different people that shared the video. The mayor of Chelsea actually shared the video. It got a huge reach. We actually had people in our sphere that said, hey, I was just looking for somebody. And they went to him. So they actually got business through that. And so when that happened, that kind of clicked of, hey, why don't we do this for even more businesses? So we've kind of waxed on it the past couple months because it's been harder with COVID. We still do a weekly restaurant review where we'll go eat at a restaurant and, talk about all the good food they have, which, if anything, at least we get good food. But we've had people that, I actually had somebody at the beach of all places last week. We're not Facebook friends or anything. We know each other through my brother. And he said, oh yeah, you're in real estate, right? And he knows just through the shares and stuff that we've gotten, because he doesn't, like I said, we're not Facebook friends or anything. So he's seen it through other people, liking and sharing. And so at the beach, it's kind of twofold. We want to learn the area. We want to meet the locals, meet the business owners. So it is kind of a learning experience for us, but it's educational for everybody. So we'll get to, we're planning on going in and, we want to meet the boat captains, we want to meet the, condo owners and, meet obviously the restaurant owners. We already did a little market research with the food down there last week. So
that was tough.
Yeah, that was real tough. So, it's
working.
That's marketing. So, and real estate, we don't necessarily have a product that we sell. Like if, you sold Coca-Cola or something, the product is essentially us and our service and, how much we know of the area, how knowledgeable we are. So it helps promote those businesses, but then also show that we're knowledgeable. We know, you need the best car place in Chelsea, I give you Bruce's number, and dance studios and all kind of things that we've gotten to meet, and real cool experiences we've gotten to be a part of. But at the coast, we plan on doing that, 100-fold, and really getting out, knowing the area, knowing the business owners. And it's kind of cool. Like, my dad, he has one of his best friends that has never been to Orange Beach or Gulf Shores. Never been, didn't even know how close they were to each other, which they're, touching each other. Same as Vestavia to Hoover. So that's one thing, is kind of showing people, even up here in Birmingham, bringing the coast up here, showing, hey, there's all kinds of opportunities down there. I mean, no matter what it is, with our dog, we're going to have to check out a couple veterinarians. So, hey, we'll go interview some vets. And
I'm going to have to make sure Amy doesn't follow y'all, because she's going to.
But
Well,
and that's
we
what
got a
want
room
to be able to, if somebody has questions through us, and we don't want to feel like we're bugging, we don't want to bug people. Hey, you got to buy down here. We just want to provide value. Hey, look how cool this is. No matter what you need, it's down here, just like we do in Birmingham. You want a good barbecue restaurant, we'll check out our videos, and we've probably been to 8 of them. So, same at the beach, want some good, grilled shrimp. Here they are. You need this or that. And then obviously, like you said, it's the best scenery in the world to me. Just love it. There's a restaurant, Cobalt, down there where you sit right under the pass, and we were there last week in the sun setting, and we put those pictures up, and we got, 20 comments of people that just love the scenery or love the restaurant. So like I said, it's educational, and it's, you have people that they may be looking personally, or they may want to invest down there. We want to just provide free access. Hey, here's all the places. Here's all this. You can go to our page, and we're not going to we're not going to bug you. You can just go look. And we found that's been a huge way of us keeping up with people, and people being able to keep up with us on the marketing side of, they're getting out and they're doing their job. They're not just sitting at home trying to make a paycheck. They want to actually be a part of the community and help the community.
Hey, I'm not going to add much, because Casey says it all, and he definitely leads that campaign for obvious reasons. But I heard again from a guy that actually is our main HVAC guy up here in Birmingham. I'll put a plug in for him for what it's worth. Enviro Air, Mark Norton. And he's not on Facebook. He's not on any kind of social media. And he said, and he's got tons of realtor friends too. But he said, I like that weekly update I get from y'all about my neighbor. It's Neighborhood Watch. And we've actually got to get that going again, because in transition from companies, we stopped that. So that's what he reads. I got the friend Casey just talked about, never been to Gulf Shores, Orange Beach. He's not on Facebook. He's not on much of the social media. He's commented on the Neighborhood Watch that just gives him updates, weekly updates or monthly updates on what houses are selling for. And so everybody has their own way that they, well, I'll say this, there's different ways we as realtors can connect with our sphere, with our target audience. And obviously, the older you are, the less likely you are to pay attention to some of the social media, unless it's Facebook, right, Casey? Mm-hmm. So we're just trying to touch every area that we can. And it is a long game. It's not something that it creates necessarily now business. I mean, we've gotten business from it, but it's, typically it's a commitment. And even we're guilty at times of getting away from our schedule. COVID kind of got us away from our schedule. We got to where we were religious with our blog and our
podcast,
with our
podcast
with our podcast and with our newsletter. And Christina's going to help us kind of get back on task here, because you just never know how you're going to reach people. You just never know. And so that's another thing that's I'm going to give Ricky Caruth down in Orange Beach credit. He says everything works. So assuming that it's something positive, that's an avenue to reach people, it all works. You just got to find what you're most comfortable with, what's most natural for you. And so that's what we're trying to do with our marketing. And some of it I think I'm a little better at because I'm more detailed. And then obviously the social media and everything we're doing with our videos just comes so natural to Casey.
So like you said, the Rob, on the goal for the videos and all that is to get people like your wife to say, just to see so much of it. They're like,
it's gonna work.
I'm just gonna have to get a place down there. So
I mean, I'm on a there's a realtor in 30A that ran a Facebook ad, like see what's available under $1 million on 30A or something like that. I clicked on it, and now I get a email from her every week, like, here's the listings on 30A.
Yeah.
And it makes me like, like might be a good idea.
Yeah, and it's different from any other typical salesperson of, going and we're not going to blow your phone up calling you or spamming you emails. We're just going to say, hey, this is it, take it or leave it. And, this is awesome. These are great opportunities. These are deals. These are good restaurants. Who wouldn't want this scenery every night? And it's real, like you said, it's definitely more of a long term, but it's more of a way to get followers, not people that are just caught in a spam email list that don't care about you. So
yeah, yeah. Well, we're probably running short on time here, so we'll just wrap it up. I just want to thank you guys for, joining me today and kind of sharing your story. What you've got going on is really exciting. I'm a big fan of all your marketing and really enjoyed getting to know you guys better and partnering with you at eXp. If there's anything else that you want to add in, just go ahead and add it in now and we'll wrap it up.
I think I'll keep it short and sweet. Thanks to you, obviously, Rob. I think we met at breakfast a year ago, or I think, probably over a year ago, and talking through things. And same thing. You never bugged us, spammed us, or anything. You were always there to answer questions and provide value with your videos and weekly updates. And it provides value, and that's been huge. Huge for us that we didn't have somebody every week was just bugging us about, hey, you want to come to eXp? Here's this, here's that. It's been great. And then since we've been on, you've been great, taking care, answering questions that we've had and all that. So we're excited. This is just the beginning, and all the future business and relationships and all that we have ahead. We're excited for it all. So just want to thank you, and we're excited for the future.
Awesome. And I'll just say, yeah, Rob, we do appreciate the opportunity, and I will say again that people like Jenny Williams and Gusty Goulas, have reached out to us from day one since we joined, and then Brent Beavers up in North Alabama, our broker, has been able to answer our questions by text or email, or I think one phone call. And so everybody, it's just been it's been a great start for us, and we look forward to the days ahead. Thanks again, Rob.
Yep.
Yeah, thank y'all. And thank y'all for tuning in, watching this. Hope y'all got some good information from it. My name's Rob Drum, and I'm here with the Buckner Group, signing off.